There's a silence in the Amish way of living. Not empty silence, but one that's full of meaning. And on the night of a wedding, that silence speaks louder than any celebration the world has ever known. No champagne, no bright lights, just two hearts learning each other slowly, carefully under one quilt. Ever wondered how an Amish bride prepares for that first night? Not the stuff of fairy tales, not the movies, something deeper, something real. This is the story the world rarely sees. And here at Rustic Pantry, we're going to walk you right through it. 1. The first breath of morning, a bride's awakening. It always starts slow, quiet, like something sacred's about to begin, but the earth don't know it yet. She lays still, wrapped in quilts her grandmother pieced together from scraps of yesterday's dresses. The walls hold in the warmth, but her skin prickles anyway. Not from cold, from something else. Nerves maybe, or anticipation. Maybe both. She stares up at the wooden beams above her bed, knows every knot in that wood, has named them in her head over the years. Today, those same beams feel different, heavier, watching. She gets up without a fuss. No alarm clock, just habit, and that strange feeling in the chest. She doesn't rush. There's no makeup to apply, no curling irons, just soap and water, a bowl on the dresser, a cotton towel, and the dress, plain, deep blue, or maybe ivory white, sewn weeks ago by hands who've lived this day already. She smooths it down. Her fingers don't shake. She thought they might, but they don't. Maybe it's the prayers, or the peace, or maybe this is how it's always been done, and that knowing just settles the soul. 2. Hands that sew stories, the quiet preparation room. In the pantry-turned-sewing room, a group of girls gather like quiet doves in a coop. The air's thick with steam from boiled linens and the sharp smell of starch. They don't talk loud. They giggle a bit, but mostly they sew, fast, confident, hands darting, needles dancing, the rhythm like some forgotten hymn. They're not just stitching seams, they're stitching memories too. Advice tucked between every thread. Like, don't oversalt stew, even when you're mad. Or, if he stomps, he probably just needs pie. Nobody says it outright, but the looks they give, the slight nods, they speak louder than any words ever could. One cousin whispers a joke about bundling boards, and the whole room goes hush. Not out of shame, out of respect. The kind you don't explain, the kind you just know. 3. Water, soap, and the weight of simplicity. She washes like she always does. Methodical, careful, but today's different. Not because she uses some fancy soap. She doesn't. It's homemade, rough, smells like honesty. No artificial perfume, no rose water, just fat, ash, and patience. She rubs her arms, her neck, scrubs behind the ears. Her mother taught her that part matters. When the water drips off her face, it's not just cleaning the skin. It's letting go of girlhood maybe, or something older than that. She pulls on her underdress, then the full gown. No zippers, no buttons, just pins and straight seams. Her hands move like they've done 1,000 times before, even though this is the first. She pins up her hair under the white cap. Tight, secure, hides every strand. No vanity, no loose locks. That cap ties more than hair. It ties a vow, one she's been preparing for since before she even understood what it meant. For celery in the window and whispered truths. You'd think it's strange how celery plays such a big part. But here, celery means something. Strength, freshness, fertility. Aunt Nettie lines them up in metal pitchers down a long wooden table, and each stalk stands proud like soldiers. They crunch when you bite them. Sharp, loud. Some of the girls say it's the best noise to cover up nerves later in the night. They laugh when they say it, but there's a weight behind the laughter, an understanding. This ain't a joke. It's tradition. And these women, they know. They've lived through it. They know the awkward silences, the nervous giggles, The slow unraveling of closeness that only comes when two people trust deep enough to be seen completely. 5. Old tales and the ghost of the bundling board. They don't do it no more. Not really, but the story gets told anyway. Bundling, where a boy and girl would lay side by side, clothes on, plank between them, just talking, sharing secrets in the dark, sometimes till morning. No touching, just words. It sounds old, like a story out of a book, but it ain't fiction. It was real, and it meant something. Some say it trained them. In patience, in discipline. Others just think it kept them honest. But either way, it sticks in the mind. Makes you realize this thing called love, it's more than the night. It's the choosing, over and over. Choosing to wait, choosing to trust, choosing to learn each other slowly, without tearing pages out of the book before you've read him. 6. The longest ride in silence. When the ceremony ends and the benches are stacked, they leave together in the buggy. It's not fancy, black, solid. Wheels squeak a little, hooves clop steady. There's no music, no shouting, just the rhythm of a life starting. They don't talk much, just sit close, shoulders brush, fingers maybe graze. It's all quiet, like even the trees know to hush. She watches the sky darken, the farms pass by like dreams she used to have as a girl. And now, she's living one. Sort of. It's not fairy tale stuff, but it's real, honest, and maybe that's better. 7. A supper without spotlight. Most girls outside dream of being treated like queens on their wedding day. But not here. She serves others first. Elders, uncles, aunts. She spoons mashed potatoes onto their plates. Pours gravy. Make sure the celery's still cold. Then, and only then, she sits down next to him, the man she just vowed to walk beside for life. They don't say much, but their shoulders touch, and that's enough. She eats slow, tastes everything. Every bite reminds her of home, of growing up, of every moment that led to this one. And yet, there's this thrill, quiet, under the ribs, like a heartbeat she just now started hearing. 8. Sleeping under the same roof, yet seeing it new. They sleep in her parents' house. That's the custom. No fancy getaway, no hotel suite, just an upstairs room, usually cold, warmed by bodies that haven't shared a bed before. It's quiet, the kind of quiet that makes your own breathing feel loud. She folds back the quilt. It smells like cedar and soap and something else, maybe hope, maybe nerves. He doesn't rush, neither does she. There's a rhythm here, learned through time, through stories, through the way she was raised. They sit on the edge of the bed, then maybe kneel, pray, whisper thanks, and in that silence, something holy grows. 9. What they don't say but always know. They don't teach you how to do this part, not in words anyway, but it's known, passed down, not in lessons, in looks, in pauses, in how the women speak soft when they say goodbye before the buggy ride. She remembers those looks now, as they lie there, fingers tangled, hearts pounding, no rush, no pressure, just presence. That's what makes it special. Not some fiery romance or dramatic passion, but the willingness to wait, to wonder, to explore slow. Some couples just hold hands that night. Others speak in whispers till sleep takes over. But all of them, they honor the pause, the quiet beginning. 10. A honeymoon of chores and breath shared. By morning, the cows don't care who got married. They still need milking. Chickens need feeding. The world don't stop spinning for love. But maybe that's the beauty of it. No spotlight, no escape, just real life. Side by side, in the mud, in the hay, laughing at nothing. She wears the same apron she's worn 100 times before, but now it feels different. He holds the bucket. She gathers eggs. They bump elbows, laugh, and in that ordinary rhythm, they start writing the real story. Not the wedding, not the first night, but the life after, where love don't need fireworks, just faith and a steady hand on the plow. That first night doesn't end with fireworks. It ends with a prayer, a whisper, a gentle breath shared between two souls that just promised forever. And maybe that's enough. Maybe love was always supposed to be quiet. Thank you for sitting in this stillness with us, for honoring a tradition the world often overlooks. If these stories stir something in you, the old ways, the honest ways stick around. Subscribe to Rustic Pantry, because here we don't just talk about how people lived, we bring it back to life.